The Chinese take counterfeiting to a new level. Not just fake iPods, iPhones, and iPads, but entire fake Apple stores. Really? I'm Alan Barton. Stand by for a special Facebook edition of Front Page. Joining me in PJTV studios, Terry Jones, Associate Editor of Investors Business Daily, and Yaron Brook, President of the Ayn Rand Center for Individual Rights. Gentlemen, all right, an American living in China's southern Yunnan province thought there was something strange when she walked into the Apple store in Kunming. The store had the classic, sleek, modern architecture, the chipper employees in blue shirts, but the stairs, poorly made. The paint job didn't quite look right. It turns out the entire store is a fake. Everything in it is fake. The store is fake. She found 2 more fake Apple stores right around the corner. All right, Terry, so it's a good bet that the fake Apple store is indeed selling fake Apple products. So I mean, it's a humorous story, but what is underneath here that is of concern, and how do you identify what is protected and what isn't, and how do we get the Chinese on board?
Yeah, this is a serious problem. I mean, beyond the obvious humor of the situation, the one thing that America has going for it is that we are innovators and we have intellectual property that we need to protect. And if billions of dollars of sales that could be going to China are not going there and instead are going to pirates, then we're in big trouble, because that means it's open season on all of our innovators. And if we don't protect our property rights, and if China doesn't protect our property rights in China, then you have to start thinking about not doing business in China. And some of these stores, and maybe even China itself, should run up the pirate flag with the skull and crossbones, because they're stealing things that are ours. It's just the same as if we were to capture a cargo ship coming from China and take the goods and sell them here on our own.
And China as an economy internally will not advance unless they start protecting property rights. Because, again, if you're a Chinese entrepreneur and you're going to invent something new and anybody can copy it immediately, and then entrepreneurship is never going to develop in the Chinese economy as long as they allow this kind of stuff.
There's an interesting distinction here, because people will say, like, well, this needs regulation, and you were mentioning, like, that there's a sort of this odd juxtaposition there, because you've got regulation and you've got rights.
But this is the fallacy. Yeah, there's a fallacy about regulation. Regulation are a particular type of laws. These are laws that are either preemptive, right? If you do, we're going to monitor you just in case you don't do something wrong. You haven't done anything wrong, but we're going to go after you anyway. Laws that protect property rights are not regulations. You don't have to have regulatory agencies in order to protect from fraud or in order to protect intellectual property rights. Those are well established in common law. They're well established in property rights law.
And we finally hit something for which we would probably say, like, government exists to uphold these things.
Yes, this is the one thing that government exists to do.
This is what government should be doing.
And regulations, indeed, almost always violate property rights. They're a form of violating property rights. And the Chinese, don't regulate, it's true, and in that sense, they have a free economy in some respects in the U.S., but they also, much more importantly, don't protect property rights, and that's why they can only advance so much.
Well, like here in the United States, you have Pinkberry, which was a huge phenomenon, started right here in West Hollywood, with their pastel stores and all that stuff, and then you had Kiwiberry. Kiwiberry came out with their pastel stores and their frozen yogurt, and then, like, everyone's got a certain berry yogurt store with the pastels and all that stuff. Is that, Terry, is that a similar thing, or is that just flattery through?
Well, they are not using the Pinkberry logo. Yeah. I mean, they may be borrowing certain ideas from them, but those ideas are probably not copyrightable, such as pastel colors. Well, we can use pastel colors pretty much wherever we want. So they've basically borrowed some ideas, and chances are good the goods inside are inferior to the original, because that's typically the way it is. But that by itself is not an offense in it.
The issue here is one of copyright and trademark, and what specific elements can be copyrighted and trademarked, and how can you enforce that upon China? Any ideas about what we can do with China in terms of what leverage do we have?
They need to enforce their laws, and they know that these companies are doing this, and they do nothing about it. And in fact, they've had a recent crackdown, and they've literally closed tens of thousands of factories doing this in China that are reproducing movies, software, games, all sorts of things.
I'll tell you how we do it. The next time the Chinese come to us for a loan to fund their... Oh, shoot. That's not going to work. All right, gentlemen. That's all the time we have today.
Try.
Yeah, I got it reversed. I'm sorry. Viewers, Front Page has all the analysis you need of events in the news every Friday and Saturday. If you like this program, let us know with the button below. Help your friends get the right media in their social media by telling them about Front Page and PJTV. For Terry and Yaron, I'm Alan Barton. Thanks for watching.